name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Today is August 19, 2025. It is 2:30 a.m. This is the first video. I spent about an hour putting a list together. I haven't been on X as much since I finished edit, whatever I did yesterday. So I have about 17 tweets to share with you for this video. So there might be part 1 and part 2, depending on what I say. I have no idea what I'm gonna say. And then depending on how I feel, I might do a video for PYTE. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tweets for PYTE, depending on how I feel. And these are some tweets from last week. I never got a chance to record before I went on my mini vacation with my husband last weekend, so I may not even record them. So let's focus on today's tweet. Let's go on X. Okay, so this is one of the discussion that's being discussed. As a matter of fact, I think yesterday some of my tweets were related to this topic. So I think I only have 2 tweets making reference to Fergie and Prince Andrew kind of topic. Okay, so this is the first one. Do you not feel a fool calling any of this family your Royal Highness? They are mocking you, then invoicing you. Okay, so this is Daily Mail. Oh, not my king tweeted that. And then this is the screenshot from Daily Mail. Fergie's mom was Prince Philip's lover. This cockholding scandal claim is the talk of the palace after Prince Andrew bombshells. Now one of the Duke's friends tell Richard K. the inside story. Alright, so they're saying that, Prince Philip was... There's a possibility, okay, that allegedly that Fergie might be the daughter of Prince Philip. And then from what I've heard also, the Queen may have had an extramarital affair with someone, and then there's a possible... okay, all of these are allegedly through X I was reading. Okay, there's a possibility Prince Andrew may not be Prince Philip's son. Okay, there was a picture that popped up. They showed someone who was next to the Queen. That's a possibility that might be Andrew's father. Okay, so even if they got married, Andrew and Fergie got married, so they may not still be related in the sense that if both Prince Philip and the Queen had extramarital affair and then produce these two, there's a possibility it may not be incest. But if, for instance, Prince Philip is the father of Prince Andrew, this is where the incest might be. But then again, I forgot about this. Then again, Prince Philip is the Queen cousin. It's a whole bunch of mess. Let me just read this and start putting my opinion on this. Fergie looks very similar to Andrew in that picture. Being denied the love of her life, Princess Margaret resorted to marrying a man renowned for his astonishing bohemian, there's the emoji here, lifestyle, who had fathered an illegitimate daughter born 3 weeks into his marriage with Margaret. Yeah, Margaret was, the person that she really liked, they didn't allow her to marry. It's I don't know why these people are behaving as if they are so prestige. They are morally inclined above everybody else. Meanwhile, they are morally corrupt. Alright, whatever is here, I'm gonna read. Being denied. Okay, I read that, so let's move this up. Whatever is here. I will never call anyone your Royal Highness, your Majesty, or any of that crap, nor will I bow to any of them. The only one I have any time or respect for are Harry and Meghan. The rest can get to F. People diminish themselves by looking up to that immoral, ridiculous family. Think how much lower you must sink to look up to them. People need to learn to respect themselves, and just maybe that family will learn they must give respect to earn respect. Friend had to socialize with Andrew. Apparently, he took pleasure in marking the wives for not knowing some obscure military jargon that sounds slutty and rude, but is a real thing. Oh my God. They really do keep it in the family. Anyway, let me read this and move on. I really cannot understand the mentality of some people who think this bunch of parasitical grifters should be looked up to. They are nobodies who were lucky enough to be born into wealth. But from my understanding, to get to that thing, their forefathers, their ancestors pretty much killed to get that position. None of them have done a day's work to warrant any adoration. Yet people are allowing it to happen. The Windsor clan equal Trump clan. Okay, so this is the other tweet that has to do with Andrew and Fergie. Okay, so this is the squad who's making reference to it. Father, you need to divorce your wife. Son, why? Father, there is a chance she might be your half-sister. Maybe a true story. Alright, so it's making reference to the Andrew and Fergie thing here. There's the laugh here. And remember all those stories about how Philly hated Fergie and she won't be invited to any family gathering with him present, cesspit. Those nasty articles were diversions. There's the laugh here. When royal reporters tell to look right, make sure you look left. It make me think of Robin Williams. My daddy married his sister, but there ain't nothing the matter with me. Oh my God. Never heard of that song, but I'ma look for it. Alright, let's leave that alone. So I'm done. I think I'm done with that story for this video's sake. Yeah, these people. Next tweet. I think there's more comment, but let's move on. So now this is new topic. Okay, before I get to William and Kate's home topic, I thought I'd start with this one. Prince Harry's dehumanization started at a young age. He told you you are not the important one, the heir is. Even at breakfast, Willie was giving more. The sausages Harry loved, Willie got more of, and Harry saw that. Someone needs to look out for the children's spare. They need protection. Alright, so let's listen to this. A minute. I mean, we've seen this clip. I actually have it by itself already. Alright, so a minute and 33 seconds. Screenshots in between.
Unfortunately, every single story was complete lies, which rarely, well, which it always is, basically, which is a shame. But, you know, it's something I'd love to do, and yeah.
And then there's Harry here telling us, since at a young age, the truth, but nobody was listening to him. But instead, they rather go with the tabloid thing of, I'm still seeing comments about it, him being a druggie, using drugs and all of that. That's what they wanted for him to end up, to be using drugs, while the other one would be elevated to look as if he's so special. Meanwhile, thank God, I guess Princess Diana did her thing to intervene after her passing and said, nah, you're not gonna stay in that cesspit. It's like Princess Diana was carving the path for Harry. You've seen, you know, because of the squad, I'm aware of that. Before Princess Diana passed, she went to the college that Meghan went to, Northwestern, and all of that. And it's like there's that pathway that Princess Diana was doing to direct Harry to Meghan.
Have you ever studied law or went to college or anything swanky?
I did go to college. I went to Northwestern University.
That's the big one.
Harry had to go, this is something I've said in past video, Harry had to go through all of the things that he went through, whether we like it or not, and he had to experience this hardship in order for him to appreciate what he has now with Meghan. Okay, and then him displaying his attitude toward Meghan.
When my wife saved me,
Yeah.
you know, I was stuck in this world,
Yeah.
and she was from a different world and
Yeah.
helped sort of draw me out of that. But none of the elements of my life now would have been possible without me seeing it for myself.
Yeah.
As we know, it's one of the, you know, it's hard to change. It's almost impossible to change other people.
Yeah.
You got to start with changing yourself
Exactly.
and allow that growth to happen. But yes, my partner is an exceptional human being, and I'm eternally grateful for the wisdom and the space that she's been able to give to me.
Well, there's an incident in the book where you kind of lose it. I think you lose your temper, and she says to you, "You can't do that with me.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be with a person who does that.
Mm-hmm.
I will not have children with a person who does that.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to figure out what's going on inside yourself." And my wife, bless her soul, has always challenged me to, she wouldn't put up with anything less than my true self.
Mm-hmm.
And what a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And so relationships, but not just with spouses, but also with people who see you and accept you, such an important part of healing, I think.
And I needed that.
Yeah.
I really needed that. I needed that pushback. I needed that moment of, again, scared of losing her. And it was a real moment because of the question that she asked.
Yeah.
She said, is it because that was how you were brought up, or that you've experienced or seen or heard, you know, other people within your life speak to women like that? And it was like a light bulb moment. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's where it comes from. Not an excuse.
No.
Just
An understanding.
An understanding of how these things manifest themselves and how we are so much a product of our own upbringing.
Give him that lifeline, I would say. I'm talking about when they were cooking and Harry raised his voice on Meghan, and Meghan left and said, you know, told Harry, if you want a family with her, she doesn't accept this type of attitude. That's what I'm making reference to. Okay, so he had to experience that. He displayed this type of attitude in order for him to understand that this is the lifeline that he needs. If he continue in that path, he was not gonna get Meghan, and that scared the shit out of him, because he saw Meghan was not about his wealth, not that he had much, and the kind of privacy he's been looking for, he had it while they were courting, because from my understanding, he was traveling to Canada while Meghan was shooting suit. Nobody said a word. So all Meghan's circle, Meghan's friends, were willing to protect him. So this is the thing that I guess he was looking for, and he got it, and he did not want to mess it up. Especially after he displayed his attitude. Meghan put him in his place and said, that kind of attitude, I don't want it. So I'm glad he displayed that particular attitude, and Meghan react in that moment, and we have to thank God for it, because many times when we are in the moment, certain things happen, it's not right away we recognize what it is for at face value. Usually it's after the fact, after you went home, you reflecting on what just happened, that's when you realize it. So Meghan needs to thank her lucky stars for recognizing the situation in the moment, and then to react the way that she did with her principle, with what Miss Doria taught her. Okay, let's not forget Miss Doria. Miss Doria was in that moment as well. Her education from Miss Doria, to recognize what was being happening in the moment, and then to remove herself from the hostile environment, because Harry was there, they were doing things together, and he raised his voice. Okay, and then to tell him, this is not what I'm looking for. And let's not forget, Meghan was in a marriage before. So I don't think if she was ready to, you know, for the next partner, whatever she learned from the previous, she probably would not want that here. Or if it never existed, she doesn't want to start something in a hostile way. I don't like to talk too much about her past, but that just came up. Okay? Don't come after me for that. But anyway, let's finish listening to this. I'm going to move it back slightly.
Which is a shame. But, you know, it's something I'd love to do, and, you know, now I've had the chance once, I suppose I've got quite into it. And at the end of the day, if you join the army, you expect to go on operations. I don't want to sit around at Windsor because I just generally don't like England that much, and, you know, it's nice to be away from all the press and the papers and the general shite that they write.
This guy rather go to war than staying in that cesspit. Now we could understand why. Seeing the nonsense, especially the 2 tweets that I just shared prior to this one regarding the possibly incest, this type of behavior in that family. Harry don't want any part of it. Let's continue.
It's too risky for you to go back as a soldier.
More the fact that I think the media had said that they would never keep their mouths shut if I went and did the same job, so I'd have to do something different if I wanted to go, yes.
With the media following his every moment, Harry can't hide his irritation.
Are you enjoying getting stuck in? Not really with you guys.
More of Afghanistan. Harry's exasperation, even loathing of the press, has shone through loud and clear.
My father always says don't read it. Everyone says don't read it because it's always rubbish. I'm surprised how many people in the UK actually read it. I mean, everyone's guilty for buying the newspapers, I guess, but hopefully no one actually believes what they read.
Man, Harry understood the media in the UK to the T since he was young. This is what I mean from other videos. They did not want him, and that once he married Meghan, okay, to get 2 brilliant minds together, Harry and Meghan's mind in that institution, it called, you know, a disaster for the papers. And they saw that. This is why they created the division among the brothers to get him out of here. That was their ticket to get Harry out of there. He was too smart. They've been trying to get him to submit to them, and they can't get him. And then now to bring American brilliant wife, that's a big no-no. Harry understood the system over there, the nonsense that goes within the family, and the media especially.
They don't report the news, they create it.
Unfortunately, every single story was complete lies, which it rarely, well, which it always is, basically, which is a shame.
But let's continue.
Which I certainly don't. But yeah, of course I read it. If there's a story and something's being written about me, I want to know what's being said. But all it does is just upset me and anger me that people can get away with writing the stuff they do. Not just about me, about everything and everybody.
And that mistrust of the press, I mean, how far back does that go? Is that something that's
I think it's fairly obvious how far back it goes.
He looked like Charles here a lot. The nose in particular come out. Look at the lip. That's Charles right there.
I was very small.
Okay, so that's that. That system relish belittling anyone below and is sick. Harry had real mental stress as well as physical. Look at the bullying, raging violence over a beard at this wedding. William was pathological jealousy of Harry, and I think Queenie prefer Harry, and that enraged William further. Willie is one sick man. Yeah, it's been practiced in royal family for centuries that heir is giving more food because he has to be bigger, stronger than the spare, to portray the most powerful image as possible when king. When Diana heard about this form of nanny, she went ballistic, had to stop it. Insanity. Once Diana was gone, Harry had no one to stand up for him. Yeah, I remember the image that I was seeing in my head when I started doing videos about whatever I'm doing now. I used to see a little boy in the middle of the palace, whichever palace it was, indoor, and I see the red carpet and the wall. It's like everyone is moving fast around him and he's just standing still. That's the image I used to think of Harry, because he was by himself. He was by himself. No one was really looking out for him in a sense of, you know, the way a mother would. I mean, he will say something completely different. I'm from the outside. But that's the vision that I saw of him. A little boy standing still in the middle of the palace, and everyone was moving around him fast. I agree with you. Was very evident in Britain, and yet nobody wanted to talk about it. As soon as I was a teenager and really started to pay attention to the news, it was blaring obvious William wasn't happy way before he met Meghan. Thank you for saying this. Okay, I love Harry's honesty. Yeah, he'd been honest with everybody since he was young, and he keep on telling the paper, leave him alone. They refuse to, until here we are. He was seeing and hearing all this until it got really bad. Okay, why this looks so small? My God, I hate the text, the font. I love Harry's honesty. He was seeing and hearing all this until it got really bad. Not once did Harry ever say his brother will save him a wrapped sausage in a napkin to give him. Harry will have done that for his brother. Virgo men are very kind and thoughtful. Really, it should. Okay, crazy stuff. As if a family of billionaires need to ration sausages to kids. There's something desperately wrong with all of them. They are beyond evil. How he kept, I mean, I think they do some of the things that they do for control. Okay, you know how sometimes people who have pets, for instance, all right, to control them and make them do what you want them to do is through food. So this may be another psychological thing as well. He kept his sanity through all of that is beyond me. Harry deserves to be celebrated. I'm telling you, I always feel like whenever he finished his engagement, once he became an adult, and he got that relationship with friend in Africa, once he finished does his royal duty in the UK, I think he fly to Africa to get away from these people. 100%. Yeah, he needs to be celebrated. Many times I'm like, how the hell did he survive over there? Okay, so now we are into William and Kate housing situation. A lot of tweet is making reference to that. So there's a possibility I might start a new video here.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. are all in this together. And if I may speak personally, we are all in this together. Because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.